Hello everyone, my name is Jim Condit Jr. and if you're interested in Ron Paul and the future of America, this is the most important video you will see in the next 4 months. I'm making this right after Ron Paul appeared on Jay Leno on October 30th, 2007. And for the next few months of November, December, January, and February, that's till Super Tuesday, this is the most important video you will see. This video is made for adults and serious teenagers. The beginning of understanding in modern day America is that the 5 TV networks are all controlled by the same force. That force is now popularly become known as the neocons. And if you do not understand that, you cannot put anything else together. That explains why Ron Paul has been ruthlessly censored by those 5 TV networks for the last 6 months. So if you don't understand that, then you won't be able to put anything else together about what's happening. Why worry about these neocons? The neocons are the ones who have us going towards a World War III in the Middle East. And they're the same forces that were ready to take over Russia in 1916. Russia fell in 1917 to communism. Millions of everyday Russians were killed when that happened. In the next 15 years, they are now poised to take over the United States. Now, if this is too much for some of you, if you can't face reality on these points, then you need to go over to the corner, do not hurt yourself, and start watching for instance, Barney reruns. Just start watching Barney reruns. Don't hurt yourself. Get out of our way, because the serious Americans who are alert to what's going on have something to do. If any of these concepts are new to you, but your mind is working quickly now and you want to learn, you may be seeing this on YouTube. Go to thetruth247.com. That's thetruth247.com. Watch this entire video, which is a little longer than this one, and then beneath the video will be links giving you information on any of these things I'm talking about, and there's tons of it to prove what I'm saying. And then also my new YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jim Condit Jr. That link will be there too, and I'll be putting up videos to support all of the things I'm saying in this video. Now, let's get to this campaign and what we're up against. The 5 TV networks and 4 corporations, Diebold, Election System and Services, Hart, and Sequoia, count 96% of the United States vote in secret. Now, I am the fellow who organized the group in Dubuque, Iowa in 1996 that caught the vote fraud against Pat Buchanan. We absolutely 100% proved the way the Iowa Republican Party and Voter News Service out of New York City, which is a corporation of the 5 TV networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN at that time, Fox has now joined them, and AP Wire, how they falsified the vote and stole 13% of Pat Buchanan's vote in 1996. We were at the Iowa Caucus, February 12th. If you want to learn about this, you can Google A House Without Doors by Jim Condit Jr., which was published in the Chronicles magazine in November of 1996. It'll tell you exactly how they did it and how we caught them. Now, the point is, we do not want this to happen to Ron Paul in 2008. So we're organizing vote watch teams at all the Iowa caucuses in 99 counties and in New Hampshire, the 210 voting places there, because at the Iowa caucus and in New Hampshire, at least half of the votes are counted in the open, so we can see what's happening, okay? So that's very important. If you want to prevent the neocons in the Iowa Republican Party, Iowa Democrats are just as bad, of course, but we're worried about the Ron Paul now. The Iowa Republican Party and the neocons running the 5 TV networks, then there's nothing more important that you can do at this point than to help us watch that vote. And we need people there, and we'll post it on the internet as it happens, so that the 5 TV networks and AP Wire cannot get away with the theft they did against Buchanan in 96, against Ron Paul in 2008. It is important to realize that after Iowa and New Hampshire, The other 48 states in the primary are counted by computers in secret. This is unbelievable, but this is what these neocons and their establishment has foisted on America or imposed on us since 1973. And they perfected the computerization of America, with the exception of half of New Hampshire all the time and the Iowa caucuses only. They perfected this in 1988, and guess what? Since 1988 we've only had Bushes and Clintons in the White House, and now they're telling us that we want another Clinton? I don't think so. It's the only two families in the country that have any attractiveness to be president, since they've got the computer vote fraud syndicate in place, and in 96% of the country that count these four computer companies count 96% of the vote. So we also, for those 49 states, a national clean election lawsuit has been filed. And you can learn about that on the truth247.com to demand that the votes not be hidden from the people, that they be counted in the open and not hidden from the people. So that's something we have to publicize as well, especially in Iowa and New Hampshire. So what I'm going to do now is explain one more thing. The reasonable access law allows us through congressional candidates. I'm running for Congress in Ohio, and others will run in other parts of the country. We can put any ad we want on the radio and TV stations, and they cannot censor the content. Repeat, the FCC licensed AM radio stations and FM radio stations and TV stations cannot censor the content. We're going to have to put an ad on to attract people in Iowa and New Hampshire to help us watch the vote count on election night so they don't steal those elections from Ron Paul. We're going to have to publicize the National Clean Election lawsuit, that it exists, so that people will see how the courts rule in the next 2 months on whether they're allowed to hide the ballots from us with these computer systems, or whether they're going to play it straight and count the votes in the open like we used to before 1973. Now, to show the power of the reasonable access law, here's an ad we already put together for Ron Paul. It's the type of ad the campaign should be running. So watch this ad, and then I'm going to come back and explain to you how you can help us do all these things and try to protect the vote count for Ron Paul and for everybody else.
Something very disturbing is happening in presidential campaign 2008. ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox, Rush Limbaugh, and Sean Hannity have joined forces to hide the only champion of the Constitution running for president, Congressman Ron Paul. Ron Paul's public service spans 30 years. He has never voted for a tax increase. He voted against going into the Iraq War. He wants to abolish the IRS, safeguard the Second Amendment, and ensure free speech on the Internet. Congressman Ron Paul.
People have underestimated the number of people in this country that are interested in a freedom message, just being free.
Leading the cause for freedom. We have someone on our side now. He's hope for America. Hope for America.
To find out what the big TV networks, Rush and Hannity, have been hiding from you, go to TakeBackAmerica2008.com. That's TakeBackAmerica2008.com.
So now, if you're watching this on YouTube, go to thetruth247.com and watch the entire video here, which is just a little bit longer. All of America can be turned around if we do this right. We expose the vote fraud syndicate, the computer vote fraud syndicate. We ruin the credibility of the 5 TV networks and begin to start pushing for the traitors running those networks that have been protecting this vote fraud syndicate to be arrested for treason and put on trial for treason. And we protect the vote for Ron Paul, who's a true American leader running for president. Pray that we reach the right people. So it's 1776 all over again, but this time you were there, everyone into the battle, and now you'll be directed to the page. Thank you.